be let in?
Through the chair, I'll start letting them in. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. We do have a member of the public here for the first one, or at least registered for the first one. So once everybody gets in, I'll read the spiel.
Yes, do the, and notification.
Procedural orders. Okay. All
No,
right.
after.
Yeah. Oh, after I say the spiel. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Steve.
Okay. All right. Looks like we've got everybody in. Okay. As a new thing, since we are recording, I have something to say before the meeting starts. Okay, please be advised that the community adjustment hearings are being recorded, and a copy of the recording will be posted to the city's website and YouTube channel. Those in attendance may be included in this footage. By attending this meeting, you agree to be part of this recording. Okay. Before we get started, does anyone have any items they would like to discuss regarding the procedural orders?
No, I'll move them.
None. Cheryl will move. Miriam will second. All in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay. On to the first item. Okay. Okay, first item on the agenda is submission number A26001, notice of public hearing under section 45(1) of the Planning Act, Article 1990. The owner is Foxwood Developments, Inc. The agent is Monteith Brown Planning Consultants. The location is 1955 Jim Webb Way. The purpose is to permit a cluster stack townhouse development. Variances requested are to permit a maximum density of 101 units per hectare, where 75 units per hectare is the maximum permitted. Okay. Okay, is the agent here?
Good afternoon, committee members. My name is Benita Sankovics. I am the agent with Monteith Brown Planning Consultants, representing Foxwood Developments. We agree with the staff report that was written, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Great. Okay, Sandra, we have a member of the registered, a public register for this. Are they here?
Through the chair, I do not see them unless they're down in the committee room.
All right. Committee room, is there anyone else there?
Through the chair, no, only the agent.
Okay. All right then. Okay, with that said, does anyone require a presentation on this?
No.
Seeing none. Okay. All right. We don't have any members of the public, so we can skip that. We can go on to committee members. Jeff, you're first on my screen.
I have no questions, and I think it's a positive infill.
Okay. Daniela.
No questions. Thank you.
Cheryl.
Really see a lot of these. No, I don't have a question on it.
All right. Miriam.
No, but I have a weird question because I was driving by it the other day. Who's Jim Webb or Heb? Do we know who he is?
Jim Hebb was the former engineer on the site. He has since passed, but he was a big influence on the subdivision that's been developed there.
Oh, that's really a nice recognition.
Because I was driving by, my daughter's friend lives on Hendrika. It's like right there. And every time I drive by there, I'm like, who is this guy? So it's good to know. Thank you for that. And I'm fully in support of this application as well. Thank you.
It's a subdivision like that. Just up the street is a John Kenny Drive?
Kennedy.
No, it's just Kenny, I think.
Is it Kenny? I always read it John Kennedy then. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
But okay. All right. I don't have any questions either. This seems fairly simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
If no other questions, can I get some direction? Daniela?
I'll move this application.
All right. Daniela will move. Jeff will second. All in favor? And that motion passes 5-0. All right. To the applicant. Excuse me. This applicant. Oh my God. I'm gonna screw this up.
You're on TV. Smart enough.
I know, on TV and everything. All right, to the
Deep
applicant,
breath.
this permission is not final until the expiration of the statutory appeal period of 20 days from the date the decision has been signed, during which the applicant and the minister or a specified person or public body may file with the secretary treasurer an appeal against the decision of the London Committee of Adjustment. With that, consider the matter to be closed. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I get for not having it up on the screen like I normally do. You know, gotten so used to being able to say it by heart. Okay. All right, on to the next item. Okay, next item on the agenda is submission number A 26002, notice of public hearing under section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990. The owner is David and Cynthia Moore. The agent is Cube 3 Studios, Inc. Location is 64 Sherwood Avenue. The purpose is to permit construction of a new single detached dwelling and detached accessory building / garage. All right, a variance is requested of 1 to permit a maximum front yard setback of 10.6 meters, whereas 9.8 meters is the maximum permitted. 2 to permit a detached garage with the within the exterior side yard, whereas accessory buildings are not permitted within the required front or exterior side yards. And 3 to permit a detached garage with an exterior side yard setback of 0.6 meters, whereas 6 meters is the minimum required. Okay. All right, are the owner or agent here?
Yes, I think he is. Yes. Right beside you on the screen.
Or right beside me on my screen is Jeff. So, all right, Glenn.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Not too bad. You guys?
Good. Okay, before we get started, does anyone require a presentation? All right, we don't have any members of the public registered for this, so we can skip that if nobody requires. All right, Glenn, I assume you have a chance to read the report from the city. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Right now, no, maybe towards the end.
Okay.
If there's any questions.
All right. We'll get some questions. If there's anything you'd like to add, just let us know.
Sure.
Okay. No members of the public, so we can skip that. Daniela, any questions?
No, I have no questions. Thank you.
All right, Cheryl.
Oh, it's a beautiful lot. It's an absolute amazing. The only question I have, well, I'm going to make a remark. I've really lost faith in the archaeological studies that we keep receiving. And I go back to, I think Danielle will remember it, when we had to do an archaeological study on a farmland of 40 acres that had been grown and overturned for about 50 years. You know, I think we hit stupid. So I support the application. It's a beautiful location, a nice house. But again, we're having to face the archaeological study, which actually puts on a lot of money and it puts on a lot of time that people don't have anymore. So that's it. That's me.
Okay.
In a nutshell. Yep.
That's you in a nutshell.
I would like to add a comment to that also for
All right.
following up Cheryl's. So I personally had to have a archaeological dig on a property. I'll word it that way. It was done in September at a cost of just under $10,000. And we can't do anything on that building until MCM signs off, which is the Ministry of Culture or something. And their earliest date that they will reply to us on, which again, I'll remind you, was September the 11th. We submitted it, is September of 2026. So a full year out. So we're in a holding pattern, and I would just let the applicant, I would forewarn the applicant, they're going to be in the exact same situation I'm in. So it is costly, and even more, it's the time, like delaying a project for a year, especially a small residential project. It's frustrating. So that's my 2 cents.
All right. Okay, Marion, any questions?
No, no questions, but I know the property well, and too bad you I don't know if you were doing construction there, but there was construction there for a long, long time, and I don't know if it's still happening there, but in that one little area on Sherwood on Victoria in front of Sherwood. But yeah, good luck. It's a really beautiful area. Love it. I grew up in that area.
All right. Jeff, is there anything else?
I live on Victoria, so I strongly support it.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I have a comment and a question just for my own curiosity. This is just your typical corner lot, complications that everything has. To staff, where the garage is, I'm curious because of the location on the corner. If this garage were further back on the lot, like behind the rear wall of the house, would that then be considered the rear lot, or because it's on a corner lot, is that still the exterior side yard?
Through the chair, yeah, if you pushed that garage, that would be a little bit north so that it was in line with the exterior side yard of the home, then it would no longer require a variance.
All right. Yeah, that doesn't have any effect on my decision, but it's just
Yeah.
a curiosity.
I think we actually spoke with Glenn perhaps about that at the outset. And I mean, you saw what our end result when the report was, that it seemed inconsequential in the grand scheme of the neighborhood.
Yeah, this is 0.6 meters from the lot line, but it's still quite a ways from the street and everything. I don't see this being a
Very
problem.
much so.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one thing I want to make sure that the applicant and agent were aware of the notes section in there. There's a couple of things that will impact when you get to the construction stages, probably with regard to moving a parking sign and things like that. I just wanted to make sure they were aware of that. We didn't make them as conditions, but I want to give them a heads up.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. There's no other questions. I get some direction.
I'll move it.
Oh, Glenn, did you have you
Oh,
finger up?
Yeah, sorry guys, if I could
Sorry.
just jump in here, like when you're having positive engagement and feedback from you all, like, you kind of like step back. But I just want to make a couple comments here and give reassurance to the people that live in the neighborhood. We're excited as a design firm to see a client come to us that actually wants to stay in the neighborhood that they live in. They actually currently live in the neighborhood around the block. Lovely reimagined home. It's been repurposed. The landscaping is incredible, and they love that area so much that they're moving around the corner to basically downsize a bit because it's a 2-story home. So we're doing that aging in place here. That's like the start off of the design. So the fact that they want to stay in the area is a true testament, as you guys all said. Jeff lives there. I know Miriam mentioned that she lives there as well. So to get around the normalcy where it's a subdivision home, they want to put cheap materials in, they just want to move. So to have a client that really wants to put something in place that is timeless and adds value to the streetscape was really exciting for us. We've done our due diligence, obviously, as you've seen, if you guys took a look at the report and the discovery that we did. We did the due diligence of not only finding out what the client wants and needs, but then doing a discovery of the neighborhood and seeing what's there and can we put a proposal that's in keeping. Obviously, we've highlighted that we're trying to kind of mask the exposure to the south, which has that parking lot. It has a lot of high traffic. There's the exposed pump station as well, which is not visually pleasing. And so we've worked with all of that, and then in conjunction with UTRCA to establish where our buildable area could be. And thus, that's some of the reasonings to where the placement of the garage is. It's the primary garage that's here, but we had to push it forward at the request of UTRCA with respects to erosion, environmental, etc. And then, so just wanted to put out there that we're super excited and we're very grateful for the city as well, acknowledging and saying that this is within keeping of the area as well, and appreciative of your guys' time as well, acknowledging that. I kind of want to piggyback off of Jeff and Cheryl. From our experience, what we've noted is if we do an infill project, we haven't been asked to do a archaeological as long as we meet the zoning setbacks and there's no minor variance. So essentially it's saying if you can keep your footprint within those setbacks, you are not required to do the archaeological. We've went in for a demo permit. It's got approved, and at no time were we kind of made aware that this might be something that's required. And the difficult part we have is when we were doing the demo and when we got the approval, that probably might have been a good time to at least engage with somebody that could perform that archaeological before we then went and disrupted the property. So I think Miriam spoke to the intensity of construction in that area. We're lucky that it's a dead end, so we can kind of filter some of the trucks and stuff. But if I read the requirements for archaeological, it specifies that they want us to leave the land untouched. Well, that's kind of already been disrupted significantly because the house has come down. So we've already kind of stepped on those requirements. And so if we look at what was there in the past, if you go back in historical photos, you can see that there was like shade screens and pergolas already built in the area that we're proposing this detached garage. And so one of my asks that I have here to note was, is there some type of leniency or forgiveness on this particular lot, knowing all the things that we know? The fact that it's disturbed now beyond kind of, I guess, repair of where it is. This whole house has come down. The property has been fully excavated and then pushed back. We're trying to rationalize how they're going to properly do an archaeological report on this, on something that's been significantly disturbed and is essentially like a new lot now.
You're beating the horse, Glenn.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
When the archaeological assessments first came out, they were, it was reasonable. It was like a $700 thing, and then it took a little while. Well, now it's gotten to the point where it's several $1,000s at very least, and it's taking like Jeff said, up to a year, which seriously compromises any sort of schedule, and especially to somebody like that may have been selling their house to build a new one, and it just puts a cramp on that whole timeline. So
yeah,
I think that Glenn, even if you had planned on putting an addition on that site, you would still be advised that you had to do an archaeological study.
Okay, Cheryl,
So-
at what point would that have triggered, or would we have been aware of that?
So can there's
get an
one other little secret that I've learned.
There's a secret. We love it.
There's a secret map at City Hall regarding archaeological assessments. One of the requirements that I've learned is the proximity to a watershed area or a river. And the reason I was explaining that this map is not disclosed up front is because it could, because it's archaeological. So if there was a significant site, people could go in and disturb it and steal the artifacts. So yeah, I just give you a heads up that you are close to the Thames River, and that there's this mapping. And when you do a building application, or this map rears its head. But yeah, I would like to see the map, but I haven't been able to get my hands on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when this first came out, I asked for a copy of the map and was declined. So
so maybe I'm speaking for all of us here then. We're trying to obviously set ourselves up for success, set up the whole process up for success to prevent back and forth and everybody getting excited. How can we, as a design firm, set this up so that this is up in the forefront and we're not kind of pushing along trying to battle with just this minor variance?
Glenn, no. We're a committee of adjustment.
Yeah.
If you want that information, I suggest you go to the planning department and talk to staff who will put you in the right direction. We can't do anything but what's on this on the application. That's our job.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Talk to planning if you need any help there. I'm sure whoever is the planner on your on your application. We'd be more than happy to help you.
Awesome.
Okay, all right. Well, with that said, can I get some sort of direction?
Move it
All right, sure, we'll move. John
without
will
the
second. Jeff
condition,
will second,
without the condition.
without the condition.
Correct.
All right. Just one second. Sandra, do we need to amend to remove the condition?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Through the chair, yes, you do.
Yes, we do. Okay. All right. So Cheryl will move to amend the application, remove the
Correct.
condition.
Yeah.
All right. Miriam will second. If there's no further discussion, all in favor?
And then I'll move the recommendation that we grant the the variances without the
All right.
Okay.
All right. Cheryl will move the application as amended.
Jeff had already seconded.
Did
Yep.
Jeff already second? Yeah, all right. Jeff will
Yes.
already. All right. Jeff will second it. All right. If there's no further discussion, all in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay. To the applicant, this permission is not final to the expiration of the statutory appeal period of 20 days from the date the decision has been signed, during which the applicant, administrator, or a specified person or public body may file with the Secretary Treasurer an appeal against the decision of the London Committee of Adjustment. But with that, consider the matter to be closed.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks, staff. Big, what's the size of meeting next week? Ethan?
4 items.
4 items on next week's agenda.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I asked the question of Ethan, but once the recording is ended,
All right. All right. To have the recording again, we need to adjourn the meeting. So can I
I'll
get a
move
motion
it.
to adjourn? Cheryl will
I'll
move to
second.
adjourn. Jeff will second.
I don't know.
All in
I
favor?
voted for.
That motion passes 5-0. We stand adjourned. All right, everybody. Thank you for your time.
my
Yeah.
question